Alright, hi everybody. Today's our third broadcast. It's June 6th, 2016, and tomorrow's the primary in California and New Jersey, my home state. So, I figured I would talk about what's going on right now with the primary. So, I'm thinking with Clinton and Sanders, I'm thinking if Sanders pulls together in Jersey and California, he should, if he can just get some delegates, get ahead a little bit. He won't get ahead of Clinton, obviously, but if he can get ahead a little bit, he'll make a better case with the superdelegates, probably. But if he loses, I think it's, I hate to say this, but I think it's kind of done with him. And yeah, so I think it's going to actually be hard to flip the superdelegates. I think the only way he's going to be able to do that is with an indictment, like a looming indictment coming up ahead. So, yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that he's going to be able to do that. And also, he's obviously, unless he wins by a landslide in California or whatever, he's not getting a delegate lead ahead of Hillary Clinton. So, that's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get the nomination at this point. It's just not, it's not practical. It's not realistic. And look, I'm like the biggest Bernie supporter ever, but seriously, it's not practical at this point. It's not going to happen. Unless, however, he manages to flip superdelegates with the indictment and stuff. And he's not going to landslide, so we can rule that out. He's not going to win California by 68%, which I believe is the margin that is required for him to actually get ahead. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. He's not going to get ahead and pledge delegates, so he would have to flip superdelegates, and I'm not entirely convinced that's going to happen, but you know, the thing with this election is, whoever is president after November, they're going to be a single-term president, because even if it's Bernie Sanders and he gets the nomination, he's like 74, so he's not going to run again. He's gonna be too old. He's gonna be like 80. And Donald Trump, he's gonna screw everything up. And then we're going to get a super progressive, and Hillary Clinton, no one's going to want to elect her again because things have just been super stirred up. So I'm thinking like a progressive, like a super progressive guy is going to come in, and that's the only reason I'm not super upset about this, because I'm thinking some younger guy is just going to come in and take the torch, if you will, from Bernie, and he's going to continue the crusade against the establishment, and then we'll be fine. So, in my opinion, you should probably go for Clinton, just so that Trump doesn't become president. That's really the only way you could stop that from happening. Is going for Clinton, and I understand exactly the Bernie or bust movement. I just choose not to follow that. I just choose to say, you know, I don't want to submit to the establishment. I don't want to. I'm completely principled in my politics. I despise Hillary Clinton for the most part. But, you know, we just have to get Trump away from the office, as far away as possible. And so we have to get Hillary Clinton in office, if Bernie Sanders isn't the nominee, of course, just so that it's possible for us not to get completely screwed over before we get the super progressive president anyway. So, you know, Russ Feingold, actually, he's running for Senate right now, and he's running for Wisconsin, I believe. And he was the one guy in the Senate, I believe, like, I'm not even joking, literally the single person in the Senate in 2001 who voted against the Patriot Act. One guy. So, that guy's definitely really cool, and I'd like to see him run for president at some point. Although I don't know if he's going to do it in 2020. Probably not, to be honest. He's not going to do that in 2020. But anyway, I'm thinking we're going to get a super progressive regardless of what happens in this election. So, yeah. To the next topic, there is a Fox News host. They call her Kennedy, although her full name is Lisa Kennedy Montgomery. Although for some reason, like she's just displayed as Kennedy, and her show is called Kennedy or whatever. And so she was doing a story about how public schools were teaching supposed anti-American things, but in actuality they were just teaching history about like the Native American genocide or something. They were talking about the history that was involved in that, and she was talking about how that's anti-American and anti-freedom, and they're not supporting our liberty as Americans. We never do anything wrong. Libya was perfectly fine. Iraq was perfectly fine. Everything was perfectly fine. Vietnam, perfectly fine. Everything we've ever done was perfectly fine. So, that's basically the gist of what she was saying. And then she basically said one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. This is what she said. She said,
well, so this just goes to show, why do we even have public schools?
Like that right there is just a clear facepalm moment. Like, if that's the like conclusion you draw from that, if that's the conclusion you draw, you need mental help. Especially if you're like a journalist, like you're a host on a prominent news network, and that's the conclusion that you draw, that we need to get rid of public schools. Seriously, you're either mentally insane or just really, really, really stupid. Okay, although I wouldn't be surprised if she's just really, really stupid, since it's Fox. But yeah, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever actually heard, for a number of reasons. First of all, what about poor kids who want to get educated? Educated. What about the poor kids who want to get educated, okay? That's kind of a thing. Poverty. If poor kids can't get educated, they can't move up. And, it's funny because these conservatives are always talking about, America's the land of opportunity, but, we won't give any opportunity to people who are poor, so they can't even move up anyway, even though we say that they can move up because capitalism. And if they can't move up, they're just not working hard enough. Okay? They're not working hard enough. They're always talking about, yeah, if they're not succeeding because they have basically this giant barrier, and, we conservatives keep obstructing them from actually succeeding and not giving them equal opportunity, and then complaining about them having equal opportunity, just not taking it. Well, dude, you're the one taking it away from them. You're the one going, oh yeah, we shouldn't have public school, 'cause, they teach things that are facts that we did that were bad. What? Oh my God, seriously, these people are so stupid. It's mind-numbing. It's actually hilarious. But, it's the scariest part is that they're actually, like, their opinions, like, those are their opinions. Like, they actually wholeheartedly believe these things, like these radio hosts and stuff. And, they'll talk about, oh, yeah, they're not working hard enough. And the thing about not working hard enough is when you're giving someone a minimum wage job, and their job pays them like $7.50 an hour or whatever. Dude, you can't even live off of that. So if you're saying that they can't even move up because they can't work hard enough, no, it's just that you're not paying them. You're not giving them the opportunity, because if they have to, like, do all this stuff and they can't even make a living, how are they supposed to move up? What? Like, seriously. They can't pay for their children's education. So the next generation is just an idiot, like an uneducated idiot who doesn't know anything because they haven't been taught anything and they have no skills because, their parents couldn't afford to send them to college. Or in this case, if you're getting rid of public schools, which is the dumbest idea I've ever heard, in this case, they wouldn't go to any schools. So it's just mind-boggling how stupid a lot of these conservatives are. It scares a lot of people. And yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand at all. So next topic we're going to talk about is Reaganomics, because I know this isn't a current issue or a current news event, but I was having a conversation with someone on Twitter a while ago. And I thought I would talk about it. He was a conservative or whatever, and he was talking about how great Reaganomics is or whatever, and he was telling me, like, oh, Will, if you have say you got a pyramid of wine glasses, this is how it works. Say you got a pyramid of wine glasses. So, what happens with the top one is the 1%, and the middle ones are the middle class, and the bottom ones are the poor, and whatnot, kind of like that. And basically, the top ones, you pour the wine, or in this case, the money, into the top glass, and then it overflows into the other glasses that are below it. And, okay, so that's how it's supposed to work in theory, but that's not how it actually works. So basically, the way that it actually works is you pour the wine/money into the top glass that's on the top of the pyramid, and instead of overflowing it, I guess it defies physics, and the wine glass just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until the middle class and the poor glasses below it just break under the weight of the top one, and so it's plunged into complete inequality, economic inequality. So you're either ridiculously rich, and most of them are not. So all of the wealth is at the top, and none of the wealth is with the majority. And so that's where we're heading if we keep doing all this deregulation stuff with the economy, which is stupid. And we don't give people health care, and we don't give people, jobs that they can actually survive with. So, if you can barely survive, then you can't move up, and that's not good for the economy, okay? Sorry if I'm getting a little bit frustrated. It's just that, kind of bothers me when people, when I explain to them why they're wrong, and then they just don't listen to anything I say, and then they make the same points over and over again, and I explain it to them again, and they make the same point, and I explain it again, and make the same point, and it's over and over again. Oh, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. And they're like, no, you're wrong, even though you just proved me wrong. It doesn't make sense. They're complete idiots. They're fools. They are fools. And a lot of them are just brainwashed, okay? Like, there's people like Rush Limbaugh, who says stupid things, and then there's Glenn Beck calling Obama a Marxist or whatever, and saying that he wants Bernie Sanders to complete his Marxist plans or whatever. Like, dude, that's not journalism. You can't just say that Obama is a Marxist without any facts backing it up. He's, like, on the international scale, he's probably, like, center-right. To be honest, I mean, he's not at least center-right. He could be farther right than that, but he's at least center-right on the international scale. So to call him a Marxist is just wrong. It's factually incorrect. And you need to stop explaining to people who listen to your show facts that aren't true. Anyway, see ya. I just thought I would rant a little bit. And so yeah, that was 15 minutes. Nice.